In the Bible, God is always looking for the kingdom that's going to be the light in the world, that will be his kingdom. Many people would say that this is his kingdom. And although I have nothing against Israel, I'm not one of the let's hate the Jews and let's hate Israel crowd. I'm not. I do not believe it is. Does that mean I think God's forgotten about? No, I don't think God's forgotten about every nation and any nation. But there is one he's looking for who is going to be the light of the world. Now they will say that they are because of Abraham. My argument to that is that Abraham would have known who Jesus was. That's my argument to that. However, there were people that knew what America represented early on. Many people think that, and I've said it too, that God raised us up after World War II. We became this flourishing nation. However, God never wanted you to think that it was the wealth that your nation was obtaining that made you blessed. What he wanted you to know is that I'm looking for the nation that is going to be the light in the world. Many people have seen this before. A shining city upon a hill. And most people probably would think that, oh, Reagan said that. He did, but the person that said it first was Jesus on Sermon on the Mount. See, it goes back to why Jesus said when he was on trial, if this was my kingdom, my people would be standing up for me. What was he saying when he said that? That God's still looking for his kingdom. And everybody thinks it's Israel, or everybody thinks it's their, no, who is it? Or everybody, America thinks just because God raised us up and has made us a superpower, that he's already blessed us. No, there's some work we have to do. You see these lights shining here? It's not about being the light, being the country that has the most artificial lights. It's not about your cities being so bright that's what pleases God. No, it's about the people themselves having the holy fire ignited in them. See, when Jesus baptizes you, it's with water and fire. Why would it be with fire? Well, because that's why Jesus said, I am the light of the world, and I am coming to bring light back into the world through those who can receive me. And then those people, God will be looking for, where is the nation that has the most people that aren't just getting baptized and going to church on Sunday, but truly know me to where now the flame of me is burning within them. And that flame is a bright light to all of the world, because that's the place that I'm going to call my kingdom. It has nothing to do with how wealthy your country is. That may be a byproduct of it. But it's about, and it's not just that you're a Christian nation, it's truly the kingdom that God will call his. Will be the kingdom when the people not only just go to church on Sunday, that's not even what's necessary. It's knowing God. Because it is through knowing God, seeking him all the time, as much as possible, surrendering to him every day, making your life about his will instead of your own. All these people carrying on about, well, what are our kids going to do? And look at the baby boomers are still working and young people need these jobs. And it's like, oh, this selfish ugliness. And then these people call themselves Christian. Totally have lost sight. But again, many higher educated. That's a danger with the higher education. So that is not where the focus should be. The focus should be, and I know it's hard for young people because they're thinking about, who they're going to marry or dating. And it's not that God doesn't want you to do any of that. He wants you to surrender to him every day, though. That doesn't mean he's going to strip everything from you. That's not what it means, because you can't take what's happened to me is I've sought God for like 30 plus years. So some of what goes on with that is that the closer you get to God, he does strip more away. I would say in the last 5 years, but that's because I've spent so many years seeking God, trying to understand, what did you mean by this? Because it doesn't make sense. The Bible said, I mean, how do we please the world, but how do we please you? And how do we do both? And it's only in the past 5 years, all of these questions that I had, 10 years ago and 12 years ago, 15 years ago, that all have, God's been answering them for me. But in order for him to answer them for me, I needed to walk like constantly with him every single day for the past 5 years, which is why I made a covenant with him in the fall of 2020. Like, I need you to stay right here. I need you to stay right here. Don't go off into other territories of you don't need to do any of these meditations. It's not about higher consciousness. It's not. You just need to do what you learned that worked when I got you sober. How have I kept you sober all these years? Just keep doing that, but I need you to do more of it. I need you to seek me more. I need you to depend on me more. I need you to realize that every single thing comes from me and not your own will. A total surrender. That's what gives you the fire of God in you. A total surrender. Oh, men have a hard time with that one, because it's like, oh, I'll surrender some of it, but I'm not going to surrender. You better be willing to surrender all of it, so that because it is through the one thing, one of the biggest things I learned from being in my most worst place as an alcoholic and begging to God, please do something. I'm too young to die from alcohol. Was what I realized is that to be independent, you must first be dependent on God. You must realize that is who you are dependent on. And it only makes sense because he created all. He created the country you live in. He created this planet. He created every single thing that all these fools think they made, and they didn't make anything. They may have came up with it, but they should be thanking God all the time, because without his materials, you wouldn't have had anything. But most people don't even pay God any attention. So that's the reason why it's taken so thousands and thousands and thousands of years that God's saying, I'm still looking for my kingdom. That's why Jesus said, if this was my kingdom, my people would be standing up for me. But it wasn't, especially then it wasn't, because the light of the world hadn't even been in anybody but Jesus at that point. But there's a reason he said that, because then after he was crucified and then resurrected and gave all these people the holy fire, not just the Holy Spirit, the holy fire, because he gives you the fire. That's the fire of God, the Spirit of God. That is the light. Roosevelt and Reagan, I wasn't a fan of Roosevelt, even though I wasn't alive, obviously. I wasn't a fan of his policies, either of the Roosevelts. But Reagan also said we have a rendezvous with destiny. We do. We always have. Nowhere in the Bible is America mentioned, because obviously it wasn't created yet. Now you'll have stupid people in the universities and the popery that will carry on about the indigenous people. The fact is God raised it up. It's the way it is. But if you want to get hung up there, then you're just letting people keep you from your rendezvous with destiny, okay? The rendezvous with destiny is you need to be the light in the world. See, the reason God wanted America to have religious freedom, even though stupid Christian nationalist, ridiculous men running around that don't have a clue about the Bible. I mean, mark my words, as God is my witness, they don't even understand the Bible, but neither did Charlie Kirk. They think it's all about their wealth and their money, and they have success, and it's not. They totally don't know God. But we do have a rendezvous with destiny. America to be crowned God's kingdom, because it will be the biggest light in the world. That is our job right now. And there's no wealth that's going to make you have that fire of God. The only way you have it is you know him and you surrender to him.